Hey guys, what's happening? I'm back with another video. I know it's been a little bit of a gap in between videos, but here I am, I'm back. So this is my current build. I want to do a little bit of a build series on this, I think. This is the Jurassic Park Carnotaurus. It's based on the toy from the first movie, codename Demon. I'll put a picture up on the left-hand corner, just so you have a reference. I do actually have the original toy, and it was always my favourite growing up, and I just love the look of it. I just really wanted to try and, just put that into Lego form. See if it transferred over well. And I think it's getting there. So I'd like to do a little bit of a part series and show you how I build it. Show you all the things that go right with it. Show you things that go wrong with it before you see the end result. Because you never get it right the first time, trust me. So, I mean, this is what I've got so far. I know it looks like I've done a lot. I've done this in 2 sittings. And like I said, it looks like it might be a lot, but things are going to change. Things are going to need to be worked out. And yeah, there's a lot. There can be a lot involved. But anyway, we'll jump into it and I'll show you what I've got so far. So I initially started on the head. That was it went together quite easily, to be honest. I was really surprised. I always knew I wanted to use the tan clips as teeth. I just think they work really well, and they just give it that, like, that being the tan colour, they give it that just dirty look. I don't know. If you did it white, you know, the Carnotaurus is not going to the dentist, obviously. So, yeah, being codename Demon, I've given him yellow eyes, but I'm also tossing up between sort of a lime green and maybe a couple other printed pieces. So, as I'm building, I'm going to experiment with that and just see how I go. The eyes might change, they might not. I'm just going to see how it all looks as we get further along. So this is the foot design I think I'm going to go with. Very simple. Like I said, the dirty yellow claws I think really suit it, but it's that sort of pastel yellow colour. It's not the traditional yellow Lego colour. So anyway, that's going to be the claw design. I have no idea how I'm going to attach the legs, but that'll be in further segments, I guess. We'll get onto that. So I've got to make another one of those. I also built the tail. The tail, it took a couple attempts to get it. Just focus there. The tail took a couple attempts to get right. I tried to make it sort of cylindrical, and it just didn't look right. But then I realised, like, theropod tails are more long and flat like this. If you have a look at the profile of it, it's quite narrow, but then it's quite wide. So that'll attach on the end. If I just move this out of the way, I originally had it sitting about there. But overall, it looked like the body and tail was too short, so I'm probably going to extend... No, sorry, I had it here. See, it Technic pins on. I had it there, but overall, it looked too short for the head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it sitting about there, give the body a bit of that extra length. So that'll go there. If we get back to the main build, like I said, the head went together quite easily. I originally had these claw pieces as the horns, but they looked actually pretty good. And then I thought, I've got those black ones too, and they're bigger, and they suit the source material a bit better. So I went with those, and they look great in my opinion. I've got the little red claws running up the back as spines. That goes a little bit off what the toy is about. It doesn't really have those protruding spines, but I thought it just gave it that little bit extra. So if we have a look at the head, if I just tip it in like that, it went together quite easily, but it's quite a complex build. I've just used a whole bunch of pink and dark red in there to do the roof of the mouth. You can see where it's all clipped in. It's just in multiple directions. It's all over the place, but the bottom is sort of much the same if we get focused in there. Got that tongue, bumpy tongue. And I gave it a real sort of snub-nosed, bullish sort of appearance for the head, because that's really close to the source material. It's supposed to be sort of the bull dinosaur. It's got a really short snout and stocky head like a bulldog. So, even though its code name is Demon, but I think that's just mainly because of the colour scheme. I mean, in universe, it's supposed to be a colour changer, a chameleon of Pokemon, but Pokemon, what the hell am I talking about? Of Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Sorry, guys. I've got so many projects on the go, you get them confused. Yeah, it's supposed to be chameleon, but that's in the books anyway. The actual toy itself, the first version of it is this demonic sort of colouring. So, like I said, I actually do have the original on hand. So if you bear with me, I'll just move this out of the way and I'll show you what I'm basing it off. I know I put a picture up in the middle, but might help to see the original in its packaging. I'll just move this camera out a little. Sorry for the wobbly cam. But that's the original. That's what I'm basing it off pretty much. So this is quite a rare and expensive toy nowadays. Never got released here in Australia. I had bought mine quite a few years ago from the US. Absolutely love it. Always wanted one as a kid. Never got released here, so I could never get one. But I eventually got one, just like Borat. Alright. So that's that. Beautiful toy. Absolute favourite. Love it. Back to the actual Carno now. I'll throw all the pieces up there. So basically, I mean, my building process is I have a look at the source material, I have a look at my parts, and I just sort of dump out all the colours I think I'm going to need. Anything that's interesting to me, anything I think that'll work. So, I mean, basically, I've got a tub full of parts here. I've had a couple Bricklick orders come in. See, it's just a lot of black, red, and dark red. So, quite common colours. I actually did not have many of these. What are they called? Like curves, large curve things that focuses there, if you can see it, those large curves. I didn't have many of those in black or dark red, so I've got a few of those. Anyway, that's my build process. I just get all my parts, dump them out, and just free build. I know people, when they're doing sort of custom jobs, they like to use Lego Digital Designer, but for me, that's just more time consuming. For me, Lego is sitting down playing, not playing, but, well, not for me anyway, but just having the parts in hand and just putting them together, see what works, see what doesn't. The only downside is building like that, you do order extra parts and things you sort of don't end up using, but they, you know what, they just get filtered out into the collection and they get used at a later date on something else. So, hang on, I'm just going to move this camera over a little bit shaky. So anyway, guys, my plan is, I mean, I'm going to have all this sort of, if I just move that, have all these curved, that's going to be like the majority of the red's going to be on top and the dark red, and it's just going to sort of morph into black, and the whole rest of the body will be black with a light bluish grey underside, same as the underside of the chin there. So that the underside of the body will be that grey colour, and it's just going to roll over basically, and I'm just going to use a lot of curved slopes of details and just sort of build in multiple directions to get the look I want. And I have no idea how I'm going to build the legs, how it's going to support itself. I might build the legs so they are fixed into a base, because I'm going to build a base for this, like a display base, but it'll be like a scene, so it should look pretty good if it all works out how I want. But actually, building the legs and having them at those angles and supporting the entire structure, I think it's going to be difficult, to be honest, so hopefully I can make it freestanding and the legs will be enough to support it. So I'll see how I go. But anyway, guys, this will be part one. I'll try and do a weekly update. It can be a bit hard, you know, to find time to build, and amongst other building projects I'm doing. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm doing the massive Fallout MOC, so I might start another series on the same channel, but just about that. I do have a couple videos up if you go further back into my videos list, but I'd like to sort of start again and show you where I'm at. But anyway, I'll get a little bit more building done. I'll hopefully see you guys next week, and I'll have a little bit more progress made. See you guys for now. Bye.